Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be making the graduation candy bar wrappers that I put up on my community tab. I believe it was last week. I had an order for a couple of those, so I decided to go ahead and show it. But I know a lot of people wonder how to make the wrappers as well, and it's really easy. I do it a lot. I do notice a lot of people want the wrappers to look more realistic, which is what I normally do, but I'm gonna also, if I can find the file, I'll also show you an example of some that are just like decorated, you know, for whatever occasion, rather than looking like the candy bar itself. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to show you how I create a Twix and a Mr. Goodbar graduation candy wrapper. Now, my husband ate my normal size Mr. Goodbar yesterday, so he replaced it with a king size bar. So for this video, I'll be doing a king size bar. But in the pictures that I put up on my community tab, which I'll also add into this video, it was a regular size Mr. Goodbar and a regular size Twix. So this is the correct Twix, size Twix. Now, the very first and most important thing that you have to do when creating your template, and this goes for any template, any candy bar, any candy box, anything, excuse me, wrapper that you're trying to make, the most important thing is for you to measure. So on the video, I'll adjust it on the video because I haven't done it yet. On the video, the measurements are for a regular size Mr. Goodbar, or on a computer, and you'll see that in Canva, which I'll switch over to a Canva clip after this. But I'm just going to show you how I measure these first. And it's this way for any treat that you're trying to make a wrapper for. So the way that I go about it is simple. I measure from end to end on the front. You'll measure that way, and then you'll make your measurement. You'll write down your measurement, whatever it is. And I always add like an extra 1/4 inch to whatever measurement I get on the lengthwise. I always add an extra 1/4 inch because at the end we are gonna cut some off to get the zigzag effect. The next thing you want to measure is this height right here, or this width, or whatever you want to call it. You want to measure this here from top to bottom of your candy bar. So you'll measure that right to the end of the top, and you'll make your note of that. Now, what I do differently, I don't know if other people do this, what I do differently is I always measure this little side right here. And for the thinner bars like this, I usually just add an extra 1/4 inch for each side. I add that onto my front measurement. So if this front measurement was, I don't know, 2 1/4, I'll add another 1/2 inch, of 1/4 inch for each side to the front. And I'll add that for my front measurement. And that way, when you wrap the bar, it won't take your words and everything around the side. You'll have that extra space. And you even have this extra space where you could put a message, which I do sometimes as well, put a message here, because it'll lay flat on the bar. Just like you see here, this empty space, it'll lay flat on the bar here. So the next thing that I do is I flip my bars over. Now this is where I differ from a lot of people, because usually people, you see how this has a flap here? Usually people don't do the flap. They just simply measure this and add it to their overall front like length measurement this way, so that they'll have enough to overlap and stick down. So this won't be a flap, it'll just be stuck down, and whatever items you want to put here, you can put here. But what I do differently is that I do create the flap when I do my wrappers. So The only difference is that, so we've already made our measurements this way, and then we've added in our 1/2 inch. Now you're going to do the same thing on the back, except for I measure each side of the flap separately. So I measure this side of the flap. You'll make your measurement, or you'll just keep it in mind what that is. And then you'll turn it over, and this side should be the same. So you're basically going to add another 2 inches to each side. So if this was 2 1/4 inches here, and you're going to add 1/4 inch on each side, then you're also going to add 2 more inches on each side. So you'll add that all together, and it will give you your total height of your wrapper, or the total complete height of your wrapper. So you'll see that on the screen when I get to Canva. I'll speak on that a little more as well. And that's all you do. And then it's the same for any other candy bar that you want to do. You make sure to measure from left to right, add about 1/4 inch to even 1/2 inch, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. And then you measure from top to bottom of the bar. For the larger bars, I like to add a little bit over 1/4 inch, maybe even 1/2 inch for the side panels, because the bars are thicker. So I add a 1/2 inch here on both sides, and then it'll leave me room to put a message here. And on the back, I also do the flap method. So I measure both sides of the flap, and then I add that to my height as well. So the most important thing when you're doing any kind of candy bar is to measure. And that, like I said, that goes for anything: fruit snacks, Rice Krispie treats, honey buns, Pop-Tarts, any kind of treat that you're making to make a custom party treat for your party. The main thing is to measure, measure, measure. And once you get your measurements down, you can use the measurements and create labels, in all different themes, which is what I do for my shop, which is what people usually hire me for, or, order things from me from. I do all different themes and templates and anything you need. So yeah, that is all I needed to show you about this, the measuring. So remember, measure left to right, and then measure top to bottom. Flip it over, measure each side of the flap. If you don't want to measure each side of the flap, you just measure this, and I would say add about, I don't know, I don't think you'll need to add anything. Measure this and add about a 1/2 inch, because I think you'll need to trim it. I'll have to show you on there. I don't do them this way normally, so it's easy for me to explain the flap method. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the computer and turn on Canva and show you how to design a cute graduation candy bar. Okay, you guys, welcome back to my channel. I think I said that already in the intro, but thank you guys for joining me for this video. So today I'm going to finally be recording the video of how I designed my any candy bar wrapper, really. I use this method with any treats that I make for my party favors or in my shop. And it's fairly easy. Like I showed you in the beginning, the most important part is to measure. So always measure your treat all the way around. Measure it from left to right, from top to bottom, and any height that's on the sides, measure that as well, because you'll need to add that into your label's height as well. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be, first of all, pulling in two of my already created designs, just so I can show you what they look like. Now I have a gazillion designs on here, so it might take me a minute. Oh, nope, it didn't take me a minute. Okay, so I'm going to pull in this one, and it just brings it in. You can go over here when you're in Canva. I'm on a new design page, and I'm just going to title this design page Candy Bars. And this is a 11 by 8.5 landscape artboard. And I'm also gonna add a page, and I'm gonna add in my Twix design as well, because these were already created. Now I want to show you also how I created a, not the wrapper without the flap, because I know a lot of people, that's how they do their designs. They do the ones without the flap. So I'm just going to show you also a example of one without the flap, and it's nothing really different about it except for the size of your label, like the height of your label and how much you need to add to it. So I'm just looking through here, and I'm going to find, okay, here's one, Hershey's. And technically Hershey's, they're pretty much the same. They're usually like the same size as the Mr. Goodbars normally. I don't know why this is so big. I think this was just for a mock-up. But yeah, I'm gonna just show you, I'm gonna bring it down and show you the way that it's actually supposed to look. I'm gonna bring it down and show you the correct size. So I'm gonna group all that together, and then I'm gonna size it down. But this was for a Sweet 16. As you can see, it says here Sweet 16. I don't have my Hershey's bar measurements right in my face, but I'm gonna wing it, and I'll be able to show you how it looks on the Mr. Goodbar as well. I'll kind of mock this one up as well. So back up here to the Mr. Goodbar. Now, this was an order from my cousin for her stepdaughter's graduation. I'm gonna go ahead and take her picture off of here, and just treat this as just like a regular random, graduation bar. And I'm not going to redesign the whole thing, although I am going to show you how I designed it. I'm going to show you, I wish I could do side-by-side boards. That's one thing I wish Canva would allow, is like side-by-side. But since it doesn't, I'm just going to add a page and show you how I do each part from scratch. Now I am going to have to alter this because, like I said, hubby ate my normal size Mr. Goodbar. So I only have a king size Mr. Goodbar now, and I need to adjust the sizing of it. So for this Mr. Goodbar, for this king size Mr. Goodbar, the length of it is about 7 3/4. It's a little bit under 7 3/4. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go up to 8 inches. So the very first thing you're gonna do when you're making any candy bar label is you're going to get a rectangle. So I could copy and paste it from here, or I can go over here on the side on Canva and go to elements. And usually when you go to elements, it'll have this right here, lines and shapes. And you can just choose your shapes. And these will be the ones that are here, pretty much always. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit to my new page and click my square. And it should pop up sometime. I wasn't down far enough, so it popped up here. If that happens, all you do is you need to drag it down to the new page. Now, like I said, you're going to measure your candy bar. So the width of this candy bar, or should I say the height of this label, will stay the same. So from top to bottom will stay the same. I'm only lengthening it because I have a king size bar now. So I believe it's the same. I'm going to measure and double check. So I have 2 1/4 inches on the front. So that's add my 1/4 inches on the side. That's 2.75. And then I'm going to add 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6.75 should be my height. Let's check the height of this one. And I do that honestly just by clicking the corner, and I'll drag it out 1 just to check it. and this one was at 6.5. So I think I do need to change this at a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to make this one 8 inches wide or 8 inches long this way for the king size bar. And you see the measurements right here on the right hand side of your screen when you start to drag it out. So that's the 8 inch. And then I'm going to make this 6.75 inches on height wise. So let's just drag it down and up till we get there. So now I'm at 6. That's 6.3, 6.6, 6.7, and I'm just going to go 6.8 just to be safe. So I have this king size bar at 6.8 by 8 inches. So 6.8 up here at the top, 8 inches here. And in case you need to see that, I'm going to go ahead and I'll put that on the screen as well. Let me go ahead and put that on the screen. I'm on my downstairs. I'm on the computer in my craft area. So this computer is fairly old. It's like 5 years. No, it's older than 5 years. It's maybe like 7 years old. And it goes pretty slow sometimes. So I want to apologize for that. So this is 6.5 inches this way. And I'm just going to duplicate that. I noticed on Canva today that the duplicate button was missing. Unless I'm just like overlooking it. There used to be a button to where you just click it and it would duplicate your items, and I don't see it. So now I guess I have to copy and paste it. So you have to click off of it and you have to click it like this to where you're not changing the text. Right click, copy, and then right click, paste if you want to duplicate something, I guess. I like the duplicate button a lot better, so I wish they would have kept that. But they're steadily making changes, so, you know, what can you do? Okay, so you have your 6.5 inches here and your 8 inches here, and that is going to be the size of our candy bar. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is you're going to decide on what color you'd like your background to be. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to use the same color as this one here. And I'm just going to look up here and see what color that was. And we see it's this FFF 108. Usually if you click another item, it'll bring you it'll leave your color palette open and you can just go ahead and click it. And I'm going to leave that like that. Now I might change around some different items of this bar just to make the color palette a bit different. So I'm going to copy and paste this rectangle. All this is a square, and the square is sized up or down to your liking. And I'm going to make this one a little thicker. So I'm going to make this one maybe 6. No, I'll make it 7. So 0.7 by 5 by 5. By 5.5 inches. And you basically just are going to meet it up with the edge of your candy bar here. And you want it to fit perfectly on the edge. And then you're going to duplicate that or copy and paste that as well and do it to the other side. And this is to represent the edges, because on a Mr. Good bar we know that the body of the bar is is yellow, and then the edges are brown. So I'm going to do it like that. I kind of don't know if I even want it a little bit thicker. I think I might want to make it just a tad bit thicker. So I'm going to make it 0.8. And like I said, you can look on your side, and the measurement will pop up to make sure that you're making it the correct size. Now, one of the most important things after you've gotten your measurements down is to make sure you need to find the center of your label. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group these 3 items together to make sure they stay in place. So I've grouped these 3 together. Nothing's going to move. I'm going to go up here to elements and I'm going to grab another square. And you're not going to keep this square, but you're going to make this square the size of your front panel. So in my instance, the size of my front panel on this king size bar is 2.25 inches. Yeah, it's 2 points. Excuse me, that was my alarm if anybody heard it. Yeah, my rectangle is 2.25 inches. And I want to make sure I have that at 2.25 or at least 2.3, somewhere close. So then you're going to, I'm just going to make this a different color because I'm not keeping this rectangle. So I'm just going to make it a different color. And I'm going to do it that way. And you're going to basically put it in the middle of your item. And this is just to make sure that you don't have your words and your pictures and everything overlapping or going too far over the edge onto the sides of the candy bar once you wrap it. So to center this, I'm going to choose all 3 of the, well, it's not 3 now. Since this is one item, I'm going to choose this and I can click shift and grab this middle square as well. Or you can just swipe your mouse over all of both of the items and then it'll put them all together. And now it's asking me, do I want to group them or do I want to position them? So what I want to do is I want to position this at the center. And I want to make sure that's making sure that this item is centered to this. Now you can start building your design over the top of the label. And like I said, this is just a placeholder. It's going to go away, so it doesn't matter if it overlaps a little bit or anything. I'm just going to leave it here for tutorial purposes. So if we look at this candy bar up here, it looks pretty similar to what a normal Mr. Goodbar candy bar would look like. And that was the point. That was the idea for this candy bar, for it to look like the real candy bar. So I just basically, I have my candy bar in front of me while I'm designing it. And I just take elements from it. If you can't find pieces of the candy bar, honestly, to get these, I just took a picture of the front of my candy bar and then I used Canva. I used the remove background. I used the remove background feature. When you bring in a picture, it'll give you the option to edit image here. And then it'll give you the option to adjust it or remove the background, change the color, do all those different things. So that's really what I did here. I removed the background and I just stacked 3 of the same picture on top of each other and then added the peanuts in. I did the same thing as I did with the candy bars with the peanuts. And that's how I got these little pieces. And honestly, the pieces of chocolate, they make it look more realistic. So I feel like that was more than necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and just take these and I'm going to copy and paste them to save time because that was my alarm to cook dinner. But I want to get this video done because it is long overdue. So I'm going to click that and I'm going to copy and it's going to paste it on this page at the same place that it was on the other page. But that's going to be a little different since this is a bigger label. So I'll have to adjust it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group those together as well while I'm here. And I'm going to stretch it to be just a little bit bigger. And it won't matter that it's overlapping, because in the end I'm gonna ungroup all this and push this to the back of this blue bar here. So for the sakes of this label, I think I want to make this candy bar a different color, or the edge is a different color. So maybe this time I want to do I don't know, a pink. Let's see a pink. Let's see how pink will look on the edge of this. Yeah, let's do a pink. Let's do a girly one this time. And to do that, even when it's grouped, you can click the individual thing and change it. So that's what I'm going to do this time. I went ahead and did that. And now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to show you what I did for my font, because I didn't go and find the Mr. Goodbar font or anything. I honestly just went through my fonts and found one that I felt like looked similar to the Mr. Goodbar font, and that's what I used. So I'm going to paste that here, and I'm going to show you the font that I used for Mr. Goodbar. And I'm going to move it over, as well as I'm going to size it up a little bit, because again, this is a little bit bigger of a candy bar. So I just sized it up just a little bit, and I might move it over just a tad. So I think I'm going to change the look of this candy bar completely. I'm not going to do it in the yellow like you saw in the inspiration pics. I think maybe I'm going to do the candy bar in a purple. So I'm going to find a purple. I don't want to do that purple, but let's find like a softer purple. And I think I'm going to use that color. And then I'm going to make Miss Grad Bar white. And you see, all you do is you click the item that you're wanting to change, and then you click it, and it'll bring up your color palette and you can change it. So that's what I'm doing here. And I believe I also, well, first of all, let me tell you the font. So this font is League Gothic. And I did italicize it a little bit to make it a little more like the Mr. Goodbar font. It's not perfect. It's not 100% the same, but it looks good enough that when you make the candy bar, it'll look realistic. So the only other important elements of it are just whatever you want to add onto it. So I'm going to bring these two elements here. Well, these three elements. If I can pull this one. I don't think I can pull that one. I have to push this backward first. Okay, let's see. Can I pull both of these now? Nope, still can't pull it. Let's see. Position. And I want to go backward, because I want it to be behind. Let's bring that back to the front. And you'll see I have a little yellow swoosh there. That was just there because of a photo. I wanted to like kind of cover up the photo that I had of her. I wanted to cover it up the bottom of it to make it not such like a immediate cutoff. So I don't know why it will not. Let's zoom in a little further. Okay, now I don't know why it's not want to let me click on my class of 2022. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me click that, but it doesn't matter. I'll just grab this. It actually does matter. I'm not sure why. Let's see, can I just unselect these and then get it? And Well, we'll just copy it. And I'll delete the other things. Okay. And I'm just going to paste these here. Same as I did above. And we'll see what comes up. Okay, so everything came up. So I'm just going to delete the things that I don't need. I'm going to delete the parts that I don't need. Such as this. Such as this. And this shouldn't be grouped. So, okay, there we go. And this. And then I'll delete that. Now, I think it must be my internet connection here. We are having some rain and all that stuff right now. It's kind of gloomy, so that's kind of affecting our internet. I just hope it will hold off so that I can get this tutorial done. Okay, so yeah. So that class of 2002 graduate is going to go, let me put this back down. And let me bring that back to the front. And there. Okay, so I'll move that back. Now, the class of 2002 graduate is going to go right under the Mr. Goodbar sign. Again, it's a little small because I upgraded the thing. So I'm going to group that and I'm going to make it bigger. And that should be good right there. And I kind of want to make this just a tad bit bigger too. And there we go. Okay. So I can leave this color or I can change it. I'm trying to see, do I want to just make this like a colorful label? And I can make Mrs. Grab Bar a different color as well. I think I will. So I'll make that the yellow. And then I'll make these white. I'll make those white. Okay. And I'm going to ungroup this just so I can go ahead and push this backward. Yeah, my internet is slowly. Wait, I forgot I have that purple thing there. Okay, so that's fine. It's there, but the purple thing is just blocking it. So all I'm gonna do is move this backward one, this purple thing backward one, so you can still see the chocolate. There we go. And as you can see now, it's hidden behind this part of the label. So I got Mrs. Grab Bar, and you can do Mr., you can do Miss, you can do whatever you want to do. It's as easy as changing the letter. So now I want to add a name here. So the name, you can use any font that you'd like to use for the name. I'm just going to see, can I grab it? Because again, it doesn't want me to grab it. There we go. And I'm just going to copy it. And this is honestly what I do for a lot of my candy bars. Like once you have your label, like your blank label, like imagine all these parts done. And the only thing you'll need to come in and change is name, year, maybe you can even change colors depending on what somebody wants. You can bring in different elements in the background to match a theme. Like it's as simple as that. So for the sake of this bar, I'm gonna put this as I don't know, let's put it as Denise Denise's Mr. Grab Bar. I mean, Mrs. Grab Bar. And I do want to have that caps. I knew it looked weird. So let's just put it like that. Denise's Mr. Grab Bar. Now, as for Denise, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it's not just regular text. So this is the font League Gothic as well. And you can see it looks different than Mr. Grab Bar, but it's League Gothic and it has an effect on it. And the effect that I use is I added a shadow. 100%. It's at 100%, so it's not transparent. I did blur it. And I just played with the offset a little bit. So that's how you get that effect. Mr. Grab Bar also has, Mrs. Grab Bar also has an effect on it. I believe. I think I did a shadow, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I thought I did a shadow as well for that one, but maybe I didn't because it doesn't look like it. But you can also go and add a shadow here, add any elements you want to add. Blah, 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 blah. You know, the possibilities are endless for what you can do for this, with this template. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up because this is getting a little bit long. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my other items. I'm going to grab my nutrition facts here. I do have graduation nutrition facts. I have a box around it, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab my 22. I don't want to grab this. I want to grab my 2 and my 2. And then I want to go here and grab the box and the QR code. Now this is the QR code to my shop. I started adding that instead of adding like my shop name and all that at the bottom because it was just too long. So somebody recommended me to just get a QR code. So that's what I use now. And instead of adding a barcode to items, I'll just add a QR code. So when somebody takes this item home, if they would like to purchase this or if they would like to try out my shop, they can also just go back and order from me, you know. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this over just a little bit. Or up just a little bit, and then I'm gonna stretch it to make it a little bit bigger, and then I'm gonna put it where I want it, and I believe that should be good there. And that is our label, and I want to make sure I have it the way I want it. Okay, I had that up close to the top. That should be fine there. And like I said, you can change any colors here. So I'm gonna change these 2s here. So certain pictures, this is a element. So this is an element that came over here from the elements, as you can see right here. And you can change the color on these. Sometimes you are not allowed or able to change the colors. In this instance, I am. So I'm just going to change the liner to pink and the outside to the yellow. And I'm going to do the same thing to this one. The liner to pink, the outside to yellow. And as you can see, it's as simple as that. I can even add a liner to this if I want to. Let me see if I already added an element. I don't think I did. An effect. I don't think I did. Yeah, this has no effect. So this has none. So I can easily splice this and I could make the inside of this pink and come here and change the thickness. And I like that. I like the way it looks, and change the offset to where the offset is normal. But now it has this cute, you know, outer outline. So I like that. I think I'm going to keep that like that. And here I need to come and change the color of my box around this. And I'm just going to change that to a yellow as well. And then here, same thing. I'm going to change this to yellow. And I didn't do anything to this box because on the back of the Hershey's bar, it does just have that white I don't know, box. So maybe I'll leave this white, but you can also change it to whatever color you choose. So if I was gonna, maybe I'll do it yellow for the sake of this video. I'll keep it yellow, or I'll make it yellow. And then let's see, do I want to change the color of this text? And like I said, it's all about just getting a template down and to the way you like it, and then working on it, working off of it, so that every time you have a different theme, you're able to just use that same template and work from it that way. So that's all I'm doing here, and it usually works out pretty good. I don't ever have any issues, and people seem to love the outcomes of their items. So I don't know that I like that. So I think I'm gonna take that effect off, and I think maybe I'll make the effect white, and then I'll make the text, I'll turn the text black again. Okay, that's a little better. It stands out a little bit better. Okay, so here is our Mr. or Miss grad bar that we just designed. I think it's cute. I think I do want to go ahead and add a graduation cap. So I'm going to go over here to Elements, and I'm going to type in graduation cap. And let's see, can we find a cute grad cap to go maybe right here? That's what I'm thinking. So they have a lot to choose from. You just choose which one that you like in the style that you like it. So I want one not so 3D, and I don't want one that's white. I want one that's black and white. Let's see. I could be looking at this for days, so I'm not gonna take too long looking at it. Let me click all, because I think I saw one at the beginning. But I'm just gonna click. I'm gonna choose one. I'll choose this one right here. Let's try this one. Yeah, I don't know my internet. I'm sorry. I hope I can get through this tutorial. I might not show you how we create the Twix bar on this video, but I'll show you the finished product. I will print it out, and we will I'll show you how to wrap a Twix bar as well. But I might go ahead and design that one off this video, because my internet, like I said, is really acting up right now. So just gonna make some last minute little tweaks. And there is our label right there. I'm not too much liking this. So I think I'm not liking that yellow. So I might either change it pink, or I might just turn it back white. I think I'll just leave it white. But yeah, you guys, so here is that that label again, and this is for a king size. This is the label for a normal size. And usually I'll test it out. It looks big when I'm looking at it now, but again, I don't have the normal size in front of me to see the difference. So I think this is about right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Twix as well. If I can leave up my screen, I'll go ahead and do the Twix as well on camera, but I won't talk on that part, but I'll do the Twix as well. Everything will stay the same. And I will see you in the portion where we are going to put together these candy bars. Okay, you guys, so for this portion of the video, you get voice over me. This is me just pointing out some of the tools that I use, the Scotch ATG glue tape runner, scissors, I have my labels, and of course my candy bars. And you'll see later in the video a couple of other things that I sometimes use, which are my pinking shears, as well as a paper crimper. But yeah, the first step to doing these candy bar labels is, of course, to cut them out. So that's what I did here. And here you see me pointing out my pinking shears and my paper crimper. And I got all of these tools from Amazon. I believe I got the ATG roller like years ago. Yeah, these are just regular scissors, and I went ahead and I already cut out my wrappers. Like I said before, I was going to cut out one just to show you the easier method, which is not really easier. All of them are easy, but that one right there that I just pointed out is just the one that I'm just going to show you the normal way to wrap the bars. Now, this label was a little short lengthwise because this is a king size bar. So I'm just going to show you how it is possible to just meet it up on the ends of the label to where you won't see any more color, and you can have the edges of the actual candy bar just stick out. That's just what I did for the purposes of just showing you how to fold this over. So that's literally all you do there is you fold it over. Now it was a little bit too long height wise, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim it. And you trim it there, and then all you would do is underneath that part there where the barcode is, you put a line of the tape glue and fold it over, and that would be done. Now, this is not how I do mine. I know a lot of people do theirs this way, and they wrap, before they wrap the wrapper around the Hershey's bar, they would wrap the bar in the foil, either the gold or the silver or the colored foil. You can do that also, or if you make your wrapper the right length, you can also just do it like this and have the wrapper's edges sticking out, and it all looks nice. It just depends on how you want to do it, but it's just not the way that I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the way that I do my bars using these wrappers right here. I use what I call the flap method, and I just make a flap just like the bars have on them, like they come out of the store. So I had a bit of a struggle right here because my tape is on its last little part, and so it didn't want to come off. Luckily I had just enough to finish these two bars for this video. But yeah, you'll see me trying to put it on a bar, which I normally do, and then I would lay the bar down, but I just went ahead and put it on the paper instead. And I'm going to first center my bar. Now, I find it easier to place the bar down as I'm doing right here, and then just go ahead and center the label on it. And you want to make sure that the bar is in the center part, and you have like equal ends of the bar on both sides, like where the pink is, so that when you're gluing the ends, the brown part of your bar won't be in your way when you're gluing them, and they'll stay together. And when I am gluing the ends, I do push the brown ends of the bar in a little bit as well. So here you see me going around. You just simply place a line of the glue tape around the edges of all four corners. And the most important part is what I'm about to do right now. You're going to meet these two middle edges up together, and you want them to meet up perfectly at the ends, and then it'll meet perfect. Once you get the ends met up perfectly, it will go smoother in the middle, and it'll meet up as well. You just want it to be as close to perfect as you can, met up at the ends. And like I said, the middle will kind of just follow suit, and you'll see me doing that here. I'm going to do that, and then you kind of push, I don't know how to explain it, you kind of push the centers in, and then the middle meets up on its own. And I like to pull my flap towards the barcode, so you'll see me do that here. I'm going to pull my flap down towards the barcode and give it a little smooth out, and then you simply want to pinch your edges closed. And you already glued all four sides, so there's already glue there. So You want to push that down if it's too much of the brown where your glue is. But if not, you just want to push those edges, pinch those edges together. And then there you have your fully wrapped bar. And I'm going to go ahead and use my pinking shears, and I'm going to clip the ends of these just to give it a little bit of that zigzag effect. And there we go right there. Do the other side. And I'm going to turn it over and show you the flap and why I like it more than the flat area. Nothing's wrong with the flat way, but I like the flap as well. So the flap, it just looks a little bit more realistic to me. So there you have the flap method, and that is the way that I do my candy bars. Now I am going to go ahead and do the same thing to my Twix bar. Now there's a couple of tweaks I would make to this Twix bar design in Canva. I think when I was remaking it, something moved when my internet was going a little crazy. And so I don't know, it just was a little off to me. You can't really tell in the video, but I know because it's not perfect like how I would normally want it to be, but it still turned out fine. So you do the same thing. You center your label over your candy bar, and you want to make sure those edges, even though it looks like they're close to the end, you're going to be able to tuck them in once you're ready to like stick the edges down. But yeah, the most important thing, like I said, meet up those two ends, and then you'll get the middle perfect. And then you want to fold your flap down. Like I said, I fold my flap towards the barcode, and my thank you message and my QR code are not the barcode, the nutrition facts. My thank you message and my shop QR code are on the flap side that's up. And you're just going to go ahead and, like I said, push down if it's too far hanging out the edge, and you want to just go ahead and pinch the ends like so. And sometimes I'll use a paper crimper on these. That's why I had it out, but I didn't think it needed it. And this was just for, demonstration purposes for this video, so I didn't use it. But I'll go ahead and use my pinking shears just like I did on the others. I just use it slightly, a little bit on the end. You don't need to cut out a whole bunch. You just cut out enough, and there you go. And there is your Twix bar. And like I said, these are really nice. You can add a picture to them. At the end, I'll go ahead and add the picture of the order that I did before of these for the graduation, because I don't think I added it in earlier. But there's the flap, and I just think it looks really nice, and it looks more realistic to me. But yeah, guys, I'm so glad I finally got this film for you. Please let me know down in the comments if you like this type of video, if you like to see more. I make party favorites of all kinds. So if there's anything specifically you want to know or you want to see me do, let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. And I'm just going to put some pictures here at the end and some video and just let you see the bars again. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.